Hello, 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 hello. Hey, what's going on? Let's see here. Hey, David, how you doing? There's David. Richard's here. Hi, Richard. How you doing today? Hey, Jason. Good to see you. Jim's here. Hi, Jim. Who was supposed to wake Lee up? Let me tell you, I have been up. I've been up since around 6, something like that. So I'm up. Just what? Have you ever been through one of those times in your life when everything is half done? I'm there and just beating my head against the wall trying to get everything going. So I've been getting up. I was getting up at 5 a.m. every day. I remember telling Dean about that. It's supposed to be, there's Dean. Hey, Dean. Chris is here. Hi, Chris. And that was a little too much. You see what's going on here? This is what I was struggling with for the past 10 minutes. Welcome from sunny Florida today. Look, now the picture's fine. So we're having one of those bright days where it just gets super bright and then dark, super bright and then dark. So that the image is going to blow out and then come back in. But yeah, I was getting up at 5, getting a lot of stuff done. And kind of pushing a little too hard. So 6 today. So I've been getting stuff done today and trying to get to the live stream and have a good time today. Hope that you guys have taken a listen to this week's podcast. This is a very cool podcast. It's an interview with Lindy Fralin. And Lindy Fralin was, to me, one of the first pickup builders that really nailed the Strat tone that I was looking for. You know, had the Strat pickups that I had received that were in the guitars that I had, never quite cut it, you know, and then the replacements I was finding would never work really well. And then I heard a lot about Lindy Fralin and the way he was winding things, and gave him a call. It was a long time ago, like 20 years ago. And as you'll hear in the podcast, you know, he answers the phone, talks to you for a long time, and between, you know, him listening to what's going on with my playing and him back and forth, we figured stuff out. And about 3 weeks ago, I was like, man, I keep hearing about people struggling with their Strat pickups, especially the bridge. It never sounds right for the style of music they're playing, or just too thin, brittle. And I started doing it myself. You know, I'm going down all the different things, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. You know, I'm beating my head against the wall trying to make sure I don't miss anything. Well, I could just ask Lindy if he would come on and talk about it a little bit. I've been back and forth with this for 20 years, trying to find different ways to get different tones out of my Strat bridge pickup. And you think you know it all after a while, and I don't. I learned a lot of stuff from him. And, you know, it was good. It was really good. So I hope, if you haven't listened to this week's podcast, this is a special one. And what was cool about it is when I called him up and he's like, I just did a whole bunch of podcasts, you know. And I said, well, this is a little different. You know, we're helping people who would really want to get better at the guitar. This isn't just a gear podcast. So the community for this podcast is a little bit different. And when I told him a little bit about the podcast and how we're helping people are frustrated, and then taking frustrated players and giving them a path to go forward. And he was all in just from that, you know? So I've got to fix this. This sun is super bright today. Let me fix that. Let me just put this all on auto. Here, let me just bring the gain down a little bit. I think they'll do. Is that better? A little darker, but not so blown out. Let's turn auto exposure and auto, all that stuff on. We're a full auto today because the sun is going crazy. But if you've got a guitar that you like the way it plays, but you just can't get those tones that you're looking for, especially a Strat. Most people have a Strat. Most people start on a Strat style guitar. We talked a little bit about Tellys too. If you're interested in that, this is a good episode that we really hit all of the bases, all the things that you need to consider. You know, it's really a small investment if you start with one pickup. You know, there are some pickups I want to try that aren't Lindy's as well. But I always come back to there's what's the Duncan one that David Gilmour uses? I want to grab one of those and just throw them. I've got some a pick guard that I could throw one of those into too. So just having that episode, it's got kind of lit a fire for me. I want to start trying some things with them, some different pickups too as well. So I hope you guys got a chance to listen to that. If you don't, carve about what did it end up being, like half hour. It's not a super long episode, packed full of really, really great information there. So let's see here. Evan's here. Hey man, great to see you. I hope everything's going good for you. Good to see you, Evan. That's awesome. Kevin's here. Hey Kevin, what's up, man? What are you doing? Jason said it was great. Awesome. And this is really what happened to me. You know, I was spending money on pickups, and trying different things. And it was really helpful. David says, I listened on the way to work this morning. Very cool stuff. I'm in the market for some pickups. Yeah. It's not a difficult thing to do. It's pretty the circuits that they use in guitars is not a difficult circuit. If you're just passable at soldering, you're good to go, and you can change the tone of your guitar drastically. Do you see that? Do you see it got darker? And like, I don't know what's going on out there. It must be just really sunny and cloudy at the same time. Chris says, is it worth doing a pickup tone episode with sound examples sometimes just to distinguish the differences? Just the idea. Yeah, it is. The problem with that is, the logistics of it. How are we going to swap pickups out? Are we going to have a whole bunch of different guitars with the different pickups? At that point, it becomes a very tough one to do because each guitar is going to have its own tone. You could have the same brand, same model of guitar, 10 of them with different pickups in them, and they're all going to sound different. So to do something like that, really just one guitar and being able to quickly swap out pickups. There's ways of doing that. I've seen different ways of doing it. Did you hear the part about the decade box that we were talking about? And what that is, you can get them on Amazon. They sell them. They're just they sell them as kits sometimes too. And it's just a box with a dial and 2 leads on it. And inside there's a whole ton of capacitors. And you can get one that's a whole ton of resistors. And when I figure out the type of pickups that I want in a guitar, in Strat, I take the pickguard off, and I'll take like 2 little alligator clips and clip leads on them out to this decade box. And then I'll start testing different tone caps for the different pickups. And it's amazing the difference. And if you listen to Lindy, he said the magic cap for him is it's a 0.001. This like the small, or 15, 0.0015, I think was like the smallest. And all it does is it leaves the low end and the mids of the guitar the same, but it just rolls off the highest highs. And for him, that works perfectly. And like for me, it's the total opposite. I go for the biggest. It's like the biggest one on my bridge, because I like those sounds, like those Clapton rolled off, what they call woman tone sounds or whatever, and like Eric Johnson, those rolled off sounds. And on a bridge pickup, it's easy to get those on a neck pickup, but on a bridge pickup, it's a really special sound when you can really get that, get it rolled off. He says it's almost like a wah-wah pedal, and I agree with him. It's almost like a wah-wah pedal there. Wah-wah pedal that you can put in one. That was really strange. Let me know if you guys can hear me again. Very, very odd what just happened right there. Let me see if I can get... I should be back streaming again. I'm going to hide Chris's comment. Back. Good. Yeah, so it froze. This is a new one. It froze. And then I used Chrome to stream with this, and then Chrome crashed. Very, very strange. But luckily, I'm back on again. Yeah, so let's see here. We were talking, with Chris, we were talking about having one guitar to swap the pickups out. So yeah, I'm going to think about that, how we can do that. So I got a bunch of pickups that we could try, different kinds. Chris says, I listened this morning, was working, sounded really cool, but I want to listen to it again, take it in. Cool. Cool. Evan says, getting back to it, or really trying to, so here I am. Awesome. Great. Evan's had quite a last several weeks, everyone. So big welcome back to Evan. It's been quite a time for him. So happy to see you there. Big smile on my face. Let's see here. Jason says, I've been looking into pickup winding, so it was good info. Cool. Yeah, he's a very approachable guy, and I'm just happy I could, one of the good experiences, playing guitar, you don't always have a whole bunch of great experiences, and he was one of the good guys. So I'm glad I could bring that thing that happened to me to a lot of other people too. Chris says, even if you just describe some of the sounds on your guitars and what you like or you don't like, so it's very interesting. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's a good idea too. Let's see here. And Spencer says, welcome back, Evan. Yes, welcome back, Evan. Good to see you. Good to see you. So let's see here. So really fun podcast episode. Make sure everybody can checks that out. The other things on my mind are strap locks. I don't know. I was teaching, I was doing a coaching video the other day, and I just wanted to play my Les Paul, and I was right in the middle of a video, and it just hit the floor. Bam, done. Do you guys have different strap locks that you like to use? I've used the washers. I've used the regular 2-part strap locks. But this is what I use on this Strat here, the oval shaped strap pins. And this guitar's never fallen. So I'm thinking that I'm going to try those on the Les Paul. So the Les Paul took a dive. And It's a beat up guitar anyway. It's my gigging guitar that I played when I was on the road. It is pretty beat up. Now it's got a few more chips in it, but it didn't break the neck, which is what as soon as it went down, so my computer is down here. My pedal boards are down here. I've got an amp back there. My other pedal boards over here, and it hit the side of the amp and went down, and I thought it was done. But then I might have to get a new guitar if that happened, but it didn't. Okay. Let's see here. Dean says washers. Yeah, I've tried those. Fender makes some too. They you can get the ones off the beer bottles too that a lot of people use. So Fender sells some of those. Let's see here. Jason says I have the pull pin ones from Wish. Just make sure you order 2. Right. Evan says I use washers on most, but the Schaller on my Les Paul, that weird angle for the neck strap pin didn't look safe with the washer. Yeah, mine went down. It did a serious tumble there. And I used to have the ones, I think that what we're talking about, I think that's what Jason's talking about, where the you have a piece that fits on your strap and another piece that fits on the guitar as well. So let's see. That's something I'm going to be upgrading pretty soon. Got my disintegrating Mando shirt on today. It used to say, have writing down here. Well, it was one of my favorite Mandalorian shirts. And I'm thinking about documenting the demise of this shirt, because it's a cool shirt, but I don't know what they did to it. It's just flaking off. So, but it's kind of like he's more shadowy and more shadowy. So I think for these lives, I may, not every week, but continually come back to this shirt, and we'll document over time the demise of Mando, how he just dissolves there. Spencer says they use a Schaller S-Locks from Amazon. Not the best looking, but I haven't had a drop. That's cool. I'm going to take a look at those too. Rick's here. Hi, Rick. How you doing today? Are you all ready for the throwdown? We're going to finish off the throwdown today. Let's take a look here. Since everything crashed, I have to reset it up again. Let's see if I can get... Here we go. There we are. At the end of last week, best guitar solos of all time. Pretty much classic rock guitar solos of all time. We have Voodoo Child, Beat Out Comfortably Numb. For the first tier. But here's our second tier. For the second tier, we have Johnny B. Good, which is not classic rock, and Rebel Yell with Steve Stevens solo, which is debatable too. There's some controversy over whether that's actually Steve Stevens playing. That I read about that. All Along the Watchtower against Unsigned, it should be Shine On You Crazy Diamond. That's my fault. Sultans of Swing up against Crazy Train. Hotel California against November Rain. Jessica against Tush. Purple Rain. Prince against Metallica. Wow, this is random. Very random. Very random. Stairway to Heaven versus Texas Flood. While My Guitar Gently Weeps, and 'Cause We Ended as Lovers. So we're going to get started with that in a minute. This is handled all through the chat here. So if you're new here, just put the name of the solo that you think wins in each little cell here, and then we'll go through round 2, round 3, and then finally pick a winner at the end. This is a lot of fun. We've used Kahoot a few weeks ago. This is called Challonge, Challonge. And we're going to get started in a minute, but it's great to see everybody. And I think I've got through all the everything that we were going to get to. Okay, so let's get started. Number 1, Johnny B. Good versus Rebel Yell with Steve Stevens. We're going to put that out there. Let me make this bigger. So we get a little bit. Here we go. Johnny Be Good against Rebel Yell. Let's see what happens here. Now I'm going to do better with keeping score. I'm prepared today. Okay. So we got Chris is in first. Johnny Be Good. All right. We'll wait just a second as everyone is typing things in. Last week we had 8 or 9 solid players, and looks like we've got a few more people in today in the chat. So we may have a few more players today. Everyone's invited to play. If you can get to the chat, you're in. You're in. So we got Chris's Johnny Be Good. David's Johnny Be Good. Jason, the same. Dean, the same. Richard, the same. This one, go Johnny Go. Yes. Rick, this one is a Spencer said Back to the Future. Johnny Be Good. Yes. Okay, so this one, I'll give it a minute or two, but this one looks like Rebel Yell was trounced on this one. And Evan, Johnny Be Good. Okay, so I'm gonna safely say that we're in on this one. So let's go here. We're gonna give this one to Johnny Be Good. Submit scores. Okay. Our next matchup, all along the Watchtower. Jimmy, this is going to be, I think this one's going to be the toughest one of our round 2. All Along the Watchtower versus Shine On You Crazy Diamond. Jimi Hendrix, Pink Floyd. Now think about those songs. Think about Shine On You Crazy Diamond is, if you look at the course of the song, is instrumental, right? 3/4 of the song before the vocals start is instrumental. Then the song starts, and then the solo. So the build to this, that solo has got to be really good. It's fantastic solo, right? All Along the Watchtower, even the solo is great. Even the fills are great in that. So this is a tough one. So Chris is in first with let's see here. And Chris is in with Watchtower. Okay, so we got one for Watchtower. Evan's in for Shine On, so we're 1-1. David's in for Shine On. Jim is in for Shine On. One of my absolute favorites, no surprise. One of mine too. Let's see here. Rick is in for Shine On. Dean is in for Watchtower. Richard is in for Shine On. And Jason is not voting unless I have to. Okay. I know. That's a tough one. We listened to one of these like 2 days ago in the car and just checked the whole thing out. It's really neat. I love being a dad, and my daughter's 12 coming on 13, and all of this is new, and we're having so much fun going through all these different songs. And she always gets a rise out of me because I told her one time, I told you guys that when I would go to like jazz gigs and when I go to wedding gigs and, gigs that aren't the most adrenaline filled, right? My going to the gig road album was Rust in Peace by Megadeth, right? So she'll put that on while we're driving around here, and then she's really into Skid Row. She's been listening to that a lot. I always think of Chris. In fact, Youth Gone Wild is a really cool riff too. So, and Spencer is in with Jimmy. Okay, so what we have is 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 5 for Shine On and 3 for All Along the Watchtower. And so that, Jason, either way that you go, it's if we don't have anyone in the next minute or two, it wouldn't matter which way you voted on that one. So we'll just give it a second. Okay. We'll go ahead and give it that. So this one is Shine On, You Crazy Diamond. Bam. Awesome. Evan says Shine On should count for 15 because there's 3 solos. Yeah. 3 good solos too. What did you guys think about the interview? Here's why that just popped into my mind. Evan had recommended a long time ago the Gilmore-ish. What's the guy's name from Gilmore-ish.com? He said he would be a good interview too. And I enjoyed this interview with Lindy. And I like people like that, that are very helpful. And because that's what this is all about, is being helpful. Not everything on the internet is actually geared towards being helpful. There's a lot on the internet that's geared towards clicks, right? So I'm thinking about reaching out. Evan, what was his name? The guy from Gilmore-ish.com. I watched a video with him. He took some of the old Boss pedals, the DS1 and that yellow one that I'm using now, what's that, the OD, whatever, and got awesome Pink Floyd tones out of those. So I'm thinking about reaching out to him pretty soon. Okay. So our next round is Sultans of Swing by Mark Knopfler, Dire Straits, and Crazy Train, Ozzy, Randy Rhoads, Crazy Train. That's interesting. Let's see, that could go. I guess it could go by, if you're totally not into Ozzy type stuff, that's an easy one. They're very different styles of music. Both great guitar songs, classic guitar songs. So let's get this going here. Let's say SOS, Sultans of Swing, and Crazy Train, CT. So let's see here. And it says, goodness, I can't remember his name right now. Yeah. I can't either, but I know the guy. I see his face right here. Richard says, Sultans is near and dear to me. Yes, me too. That's an awesome song. Jason says Sultans. Chris is on Sultans. David's Crazy Train all day long. Rick is Sultans. John, hi John. How are you doing? Great to see you, man. Awesome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got 5 Sultans right now. That was John. Dean is at Sultans. And Jim is at Sultans. Okay, so pretty much we're going with Sultans of Swing right there. So, both classic solos. I like both of them. But that one gets it easily. Let's see here. Spencer's on Sultans. Okay. And Evan says, geez, most metal solos don't do melody so much, but Crazy Train really does. It's tough. It is tough. It's a very, very good solo, too. I can hear it in my head right now. I wish I could just play all of these things. Let's see here. Evan says, I'm going to go with Crazy Train. I love both. Okay, cool. So David, you and Evan, you're not the sole metalhead this week. All right. Richard says, my uncle referred to SOS as the songs my neighbors love to hate. Yeah, I had a few of those too. That were the last house that my parents were at when I was still living with them. and there was a house, long house with a garage on one side, and there was the room on top of the garage is what I had, and it had like skylights that if you open them up, right, they kind of open like this on one side, and my neighbors used to. They never complained and never called the police, and I found out later that they used to enjoy listening to me practice. So that's a good one. It could have gone horribly wrong because I was trying some stuff out. I used to have Carvin 100-watt amps, which didn't sound great on their own, but they took pedals really, really well, and they were loud. I had I had a combo, and then I had 100-watt. Whew. I was I was loud. I was loud, definitely. Evan says I can practically hum the Crazy Train solo. Can't say that about a lot of heavier stuff I've heard. Yeah, that's true. It's a great solo. Great solo. Okay, so that one goes to Sultans of Swing. Our next one here is Hotel California, which is Joe Walsh, Don Felder, right, on the Eagles, versus November Rain, Slash, which are both fantastic solos, both well thought out, very melodic solos. I would say that the Eagles was more thought out because of the chord progression is much more, there's a lot more going on in that chord progression, and you have the harmony parts there too. So let's write this down. We have HC versus NR, November Rain. Okay, so let's head on back here. David's in first with Hotel. Evan's in with Hotel. So is John. Spencer's in with Hotel. And so is Dean. Chris likes November Rain. Let's see here. Jim's Hotel. And Richard is Hotel California. And Jason is too. So we're heavily leaning towards Hotel California. They're both classic songs. Hotel California, a lot more airplay than November Rain. November Rain's fantastic. Both fantastic solos too. It's got the classic Les Paul neck humbucker tone. Yeah, it's a great song. So, but we're gonna go with Hotel California. Easily leaning to that side there. All right, so we're going down now. What do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 more in round one. Jessica. Right? And Tush with ZZ Top. It's two Southern rock. One more, Allman Brothers are classic Southern rock stuff. ZZ Top's a Texas Southern rock, bordering on hard rock sometimes, bordering on pop music sometimes. ZZ Top really went in a lot of different avenues. The Allman Brothers stuck to one avenue and stayed there as long. Although in the 80s, Allman Brothers did some stuff too. So I've played both of these songs a million times, like both of them, like the solos for both of them too. If you think straight solos, think about the solo for Jessica. So solo for Jessica is in A, and it's that major pentatonic, hits a diminished build-up, and then changes keys to the key of D, and opens up. And then the whole song so the solo in that song is very, 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 very effective. And Tush, right, with the artificial harmonics and just sitting in the pocket for that one, same thing. It doesn't do the key changes to the other one, but just as iconic too. This would be if I was picking, this would be a tough one for me. So let's go here. Let's get this going on. we've got Jessica versus Tush. Jason's on Jessica, and Jim on ZZ Top. Dean's Jessica. John Tush. David's got the ZZ. Okay, we got Richard in with Jessica. Spencer's in with ZZ Top. And Evan is going with Jessica. So we're tied up right now. 4-4. He says, I'd probably have picked LaGrange if it were that instead of Tush, but I'm going Jessica. Yep, that's also a great one too. I like a lot of the, like Blue Jean Blue. I like a lot of the lesser known ones. Always with ZZ Top, the early stuff for me, you know, I like the other stuff too, but so we're 4-4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think we have maybe 1 or 2 more votes that could come in. Let me just double check, make sure I didn't mess up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So we're tied. We're just going to hang out here a little bit, see if we can get another one to break the tie. Who's left? Who hasn't? So we got Evan, Spencer, Richard, David, John, Dean, Jim, Jason. So we haven't heard from Chris on this one yet. But I know he's probably working right now, so maybe we'll get to him in just a second. Who else? Let's see here. Jason, Richard. Was John? Yeah, we heard from John. Spencer? Yeah, we got from Spencer. And did we get from Chris comes in. Bam, Jessica. Okay. All right. Sorry, I forgot to sorry, I forgot. No problem. No problem, man. That's great. Oh gosh. We had thought about you again too. We went to Rick's here. Rick comes in, ZZ Top. We're still tied. We got some expensive fish and chips the other day at Epcot Center. And you know, in the States, we're not I think I was wanting to ask you a question. Is fish and chips, the fish, the big piece, right? In England, is it usually super crispy, like almost hard to break into? Is that a traditional way of doing it, or is it a light? Is it usually a light thing? So we got we were in Epcot and went to the UK pavilion and got some on the street, and man, it was like you needed a knife to cut into it. The breading was super tough, and I was wondering if that was something that's normal or not. Okay. Yes, usually very crispy and crunchy. Okay, cool. So it was on that way. Just something different for us too. There's a lot of British food here. A lot of different restaurants. So I think one day I'm going to spend the day, and maybe I'll take you guys with me. What I'm doing now is I'm spending family time. We've been going to all the parks and going and doing all the different things. And we're having some family time doing that now that we've got passes to everything. And we've been everywhere now, all the different places. So the live stream will probably show up. I'm thinking next week I'll do a little bit though. Chris says, not super thick though, but always crispy. Yeah, I think this may have been a little more on the on the other side. It was not easy to eat. We'll see. I'll try some other ones too and see how it was. Maybe we just got there on a tough night there too. Okay, so we've got a tie both ways. I guess I'm going to be the tiebreaker for that one. I'll take responsibility for the tiebreaker. Jessica and Tush. I'm going to go with Jessica. I think I'm going to go with that. That's that'll be my one vote for today. I'm going with Jessica. All right. So I'll put mine in with a circle around there so I remember that. I did that. Okay, so now we have, Dean says Lee break the tie. I did it. Purple Rain and One by Metallica. Purple Rain, Prince, and One by Metallica. This one will be tough too. These aren't straight up, what you would think of solos. And we'll think about the solo. I always think of it in Purple Rain, the walk down. And One's got a lot of the arpeggios, the fast, right? The really fast arpeggio work. So very different solos. Now let's see what we got here. We're going to start with Dean. So we've got Purple Rain and One. Dean comes in with Prince. David's with Metallica on One. Jim's with Prince. Evan's with Prince. John is with Metallica on One. So at this point, from John on, we're at 3-2, leaning over to Prince. Let's see here. Chris. Then he says, now Purple Rain, 10 years ago, I would have said One. So let's go Purple Rain. Okay. So we're 4-2. Richard is on One. Love the S&M CD version and Mike Dawes cover as well. And let's see here. Rick is with Prince. So up to Rick, we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-3. 5-3. Yeah, with Prince, he was such a personality that his guitar playing really took a back seat. And a lot of people just, sometimes you hear something, you don't think about it. It's just part of the song. And then he did that Rock and Roll Hall of Fame where he got up there and did While My Guitar Gently Weeps. And people start going, gosh, he really is a great guitar player. And then Clapton, for a long time, that was his favorite guitar player, was Prince, which was, you don't think of that. Somebody like Clapton, he would talk about him all the time. Let's see here. That was Rick. Is it with Prince? And then let's see. Spencer comes in. Prince. Okay, so Prince says, I grew up in Chanhassen, Minnesota. I never asked for or received the credit for all the time money he donated to the kids of that community through education. Yeah, great. Didn't draw attention to his personal life as well too. I've heard a lot of really cool things like that. Unfortunately, you hear all of the strange stuff. That's what gets talked about. But my favorite thing was they talked to his sister after he passed away, and they're asking her all these questions and trying to get all this dirt on him. And basically she said, he talked a lot. That's all she said. Like, he never shut up. He was like, that's how a sister would that's a sister answer. He's like, he just talked he just would call me up and talk all the time. He would never stop. And, from what we would see, he's always quiet and he'd talk real like that. And so he was nothing like the public personality. And that's awesome that you guys, let's see here. Dean says, I'm from Minnesota also. You're right, Spencer. Yeah, dude did some really good stuff too. Have you cleansed yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka? Good movie, right? Good part of that movie too. And Dean has now in the waters of May. David has. Yeah. And apparently the basketball game legend is true. Yeah, and the ping pong stuff. Do you hear about all the ping pong stuff. He would challenge people to midnight ping pong. Just a cool guy, man. Cool stuff. Okay, so we'll give that one to Prince. Yes, if you're at my house for any amount of time, you'll definitely be hearing Prince at some point. Okay, so now here we go. Now we're deep into classic rock stuff. Stairway to Heaven versus Texas Flood. Led Zeppelin versus Stevie Ray Vaughan. So, Stairway to Heaven, the first note. And once you hear that first note, you know the entire rest of the solo. Is it because we've heard it so many times? Or is it just because it's just a great solo? I could sing the entire solo. Texas Flood. There's lots of little fills in there. But the Texas Flood solo is, to me, what Stevie Ray Vaughan did best. Was he took straight blues and he had so much of his feel, it made it feel relevant. When I would listen to that album in particular, but that song and that solo, I wasn't thinking that this is a guy who's playing music from people. This was the 80s. This is a guy's playing music from people that was written 40 years ago, and it wasn't a tribute. He was actually he felt that music so much it made it current, which I thought was very, very, very important. So that song in particular, very important. Song and solo too. So let's see here. So we got Stairway. And you think of the beginning of Stairway, which annoys everyone, right? But the solo, the people who are annoying everyone with the beginning of Stairway usually never make it to the solo. The solo is very, very, very cool. And Texas Flood. Okay, so let's see here. John says, having to pick between these two, but going with Jimmy. Okay, so we got one for Stairway right there. Rick's got Texas Flood. David's got Stairway. Evan's got Stairway. So we're 3-1. Jim's at Stairway. Jimmy Page. Dean says at the Target Center at intermission during the Timberwolves game, they just let him park his limo just like cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. Dean is Stairway. Richard's going with Texas Flood. This would be a tough one for me too. And Jason's going Stairway. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Stairway and 2 Texas Flood. All right, let's see here. We haven't heard from everyone, so we'll give it a few minutes. Looking like Stairway's going to pull it out. Chris is on a work call. No problem. No problem at all. So I'm going to go ahead and give this one to Jimmy Page. Don't think we'd be able to change that at this point, but I can always go back and redo it. And our last one in round one is While My Guitar Gently Weeps. And this is the Prince Rock and Roll Hall of Fame solo that I was just talking about. Or Cause We Ended as Lovers, Jeff Beck. And that could be the Ronnie Scott's version of that, which I think is, or any of even the regular, recorded version of that, album version of it. It's fantastic. Cause We Ended as Lovers deals with a lot of volume swells, right? And a lot of feedback and catching those things, which is a very big part of Jeff Beck's tone, right? It's a slow song. The instrumentation is kind of a jazz. There's a lot of electric piano holding the chords down, but his tone is all rock guitar tone. It's a classic song. Very hard to emulate Jeff Beck, to really sound like him. Very hard to copy that. While My Guitar Gently Weeps, if you haven't seen the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with Tom Petty and was it Jeff Lynne singing? And then they had another guy, I don't know who the other guy was, who played a little bit of a solo. And at the end, you'd see George Harrison's son was playing rhythm guitar, and what's his name, Donnie or something. And then off to the right, you'd see Prince, and you'd see his hat, and he's just being quiet and just being part of the band, and then the other guy plays a solo, and it's just, you're just thinking, oh, okay. And then he steps out when it's his turn and just kills everyone. just annihilates that song, makes it so. And he did things in that solo I've never seen him do. He was doing single string pedal tones in that. Was just so you could tell this wasn't perfectly thought out, It was fantastic. Anyone who likes lead guitar, I would recommend to get on YouTube and find that. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and get started with this. Get round 2 going. We've got While My Guitar Gently Weeps and Cause We Ended as Lovers. Dean is While My Guitar Gently Weeps. John, the same. This is Prince. Yeah, that's right. This is Prince, not George Harrison. This is Prince. Or Eric Clapton, who he played on that as well. Jim is from guitar. David is there. Richard is there. Okay. I'll take the crying axe. So I guess because we ended as lovers, I'm guessing that's what Evan's saying. Yeah. Danny, is it Donnie? Danny, I don't know how to pronounce that. Yeah, he head cut the whole band. Let's see here. Yeah, well, I think they're both in there, but I think the main part may have been Clapton on that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5. While My Guitar Gently Weeps. Let's see here. I'll take the crying one from Evan. I'm guessing that means the Cause We Ended as Lovers. And then let's see here. Rick is... Oh, no, the weeping guitar, Prince. Okay. All right, so we're back off that. So Prince... Let's see here. Jason says, Guitar Weeps, the Beck tune has some interesting Yeah, it does. Some really cool stuff in that song, too. No, the Weeping Guitar, Prince. Okay, cool. And then... So that one, David's got to jump off. Okay, bye, Dave. Thanks for hanging out with us, man. David, thank you for hanging out. He's leaving right at 12 there. I'm going to go a little bit over here. We're going to try and finish this up. So... I'm saying Prince takes that one. All right. So let's get this. It's taking a minute. We'll do round 2. We'll see if we can fly through this. So we're going to do this fast. See if we can get through this pretty quickly. Round 2. Our first matchup is Crossroads, Eric Clapton. No, wait. No, it's not. We already did that one. Our first one is Johnny B. Good versus Shine On You Crazy Diamond. That's our first one for round 2 of this second. So JBG versus SHINE. We're going to fly through this one. I'm not going to talk a whole lot so we can try and get this finished. So Evan's in first with Shine On. Richard's in with Shine On. John's in with Johnny Be Good. Jason's in with Shine On. So at 3-1. Jim's in with Shine On. 4-1. Dean's in. So we're 5-1. And let's wait a second here. Looking like Pink Floyd is going to take this one. Just give it a second. I'm going to go ahead and give it to them, to David Gilmour for this. Rick is at Johnny Be Good, so there's 2 for Johnny Be Good there. Looking like Pink Floyd is taking that one. Who we had not heard from. David's gone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think Chris, but he's got a call going on there. So, okay, so we're gonna give it to. Put your guitar back in your gunny sack, Johnny. Gilmour has arrived. Okay, so we're gonna give it to David Gilmour. We're gonna go to our next one in round 2. Here we're having Sultans of Swing versus Hotel California. That's tough. That's a tough one. Sultans of Swing versus Hotel California. That's what we're on right now. SOS versus HC. This is going to be interesting. That last one. I'm thinking about the last one. So Evan comes in first with Hotel. John's, let's see, Richard's next with Sultans. John's with Hotel. Rick is Sultans. Yeah, this is lining up the way I thought. Jim is Hotel California. So right now, up to Jim, we have Hotel California 3, Sultans of Swing 2. And we'll give it just a second. Let's see, last one, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we have 7 votes. Right now we have 5, so we'll wait for 2 more. Jason's in with Sultans. So we're tied at this point, 3-3. And in fact, it flips every other. Chris is back, Hotel California. So we got 4-3 for Hotel California. And Dean is in with Hotel California. So that's our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's our 8. Same as the last one. And Hotel California is up 5-3. So we'll give that one there in the interest of time. But I can go back if more come in. And the last 2 for round 2, Jessica versus Purple Rain. Jessica against PR. Jessica versus Purple Rain. Very different songs. Although you'll hear them on the same channel. So let's see. We got them coming in now. We got Jessica. 1 for Jessica. Dean. Dean came in first. Richard. Jessica there. Jim's got Purple Rain. Jason's got Jessica. So we're at 3-1 now. Chris is Purple Rain, 3-2. This is close. This is close. This is fun. It's a lot of fun, man. This is awesome. John is and Jessica. So we're at 4-2. Thinking a lot about a lot of these songs too, because starting to think about playing out a little bit, starting to put together something. Let's see, Evan. I'll talk to that about that in a few minutes. Evan's at Purple Rain, so we're at 4-3. Make sure I didn't mess up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3. So 4-3. Okay, who are we missing here? We'll give it another minute or two. There, this is pretty close. 4-3. 4 for Jessica, 3 for Purple Rain. Thinking about putting a cover band together for this area. I've done in my time playing guitar periods of doing original bands, periods of doing cover bands. There's good things and bad things about both of them. There's been times where I just wanted to play originals, didn't want to do covers, and other times where I was having much more fun playing covers. And I thought back to it, and that's really where you're playing. You know, the groups, if I was playing a bunch of, like I used to play a lot of bars, you know, biker bars, those kind of things. Covers can get tiring. You know, you're playing kind of the, you know, there's something about experimenting with other music, which is fun. And there wasn't a whole lot of experimenting able to be done in those kind of situations. You had to play kind of same thing. And it would get to the point where you play these places enough. It's like, you're like babysitting people. You're like a jukebox for those people. It wasn't fun. And then like original music, you'd play, you know, every once in a while you do something where people were paying attention, but a lot of times you're playing places, original places where, you know, you're not getting a whole lot of people and it's not a lot of fun, you know? So here where I am now, it's a lot of people on vacation. A lot of people want to go out, have fun. And I think a cover band would be a lot of fun here, especially like a guitar based cover band. So I'm going to find the songs that you'd be like, wow, you know, let's do that, you know, so I'm kind of putting that together. My wife and I are both putting that together right now. So I'm thinking about songs. You know, a song that you would just love to hear played live, let me know about it. So let's see here. Dean, Richard, Jason, John have picked Jessica, and Purple Rain, Purple Rain, Purple Rain. So I'm going to go ahead and give it to Jessica. And like I said, I can always go back and change it if some more come in, but we haven't had any come in a minute or two. So we'll give this to Jessica at the moment. That's 4-3. And now we're going to move on to our last in round 2, Stairway to Heaven versus While My Guitar Gently Weeps with Prince. Now, the last While My Guitar Gently Weeps against Kazuya and His Lovers, that was a blowout, right? But this is going to be different. Stairway to Heaven, pretty much an iconic solo. While My Guitar Gently Weeps, a fantastic performance. So two very different things. I don't think of the Stairway performance, you know, the live thing, so much as I think of the recorded version of Stairway to Heaven, which, I mean, it was basically the same, but when I think about that, the solo that affected me, I think of the recorded version. Well, like I said, While My Guitar Gently Weeps is a performance. So let's see what we've got. John's on Stairway. We got one for Stairway. We got Jason here. He's in on Stairway. Chris is in for Stairway. Rick is in for Stairway. Evan said, this is painful. Stairway. Recorded version. Go live and I'll pick Prince. So are you saying Stairway? I think that's what he's saying. Jim, Stairway. Dean says that's really hard, Stairway, and Richard says Stairway. So it's pretty much an iconic solo. So yeah, it's tough, but it's swept again. So as far as guitar solos go, this is an important one. Okay, so there's our round 2. We're going to round 3 here. So we've got 1, 2 to get through. Come on, there. Our first is Shine On You Crazy Diamond versus Hotel California. That's what we're on right now. SOYCD, Soicid versus HC. Okay, so we got, let's see here. John's in first with Hotel California. This is interesting. This is going to be an interesting one. Then we got Dean, Hotel California. Evan with Shine On. Jason with Shine On. Jim. Let's see here. Jim with Shine On. Soisid. Richard with Shine On. And Chris with Hotel California. So right now, up to Chris, we're 4 for Gilmore and 3 for Felder and Walsh. How many did we get in the last one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 8 in the last one, 7 in the one before that, 8 in the one before that. So, okay, there's Rick. Rick is at Shine On. And Evan says, peace. Great to see you, man. Great to see you. Are you heading out? Shine On took it for this one. We're going to try and finish this right now. Our last in round 3, Jessica and Stairway to Heaven. Jay versus Stairway to Heaven. I think I know how this is going to go. Oh, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. That's what I thought you was heading out. Okay, so here we go. John's in first with Stairway. Then we've got Richard for Jessica. Dean for Stairway to Heaven. Jason for Jessica. So 2 for Jessica, 2 for Stairway. Chris goes for Stairway to Heaven. And Jim goes for Stairway to Heaven. So we're at 4 and 2. So we've got 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got 2 more to come in. Rick comes in with Stairway. And so that we would have 1 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 Stairway, 2 Jessica. So looks like Jessica takes it. Stairway to Heaven takes it. All right. So we're in the finals here for round 2, and then we'll go and do the whole thing. So we're at Shine On, You Crazy Diamond. Soisid versus Stairway. Shine On versus Stairway to Heaven. Shine On, Stairway to Heaven. The winner of this goes on to compete against Voodoo Child, the winner of our last week. Voodoo Child's slight return. You have to say that because there are multiple Voodoo Childs. Okay, back on to our round 2 champion. Let's see here. John's in first with Stairway. Dean's in with Stairway. Richard's in with Stairway. Evan's in with Gilmore. Always the answer. Chris is in with Stairway. Jim's in with Stairway. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we got 1 more to come in. I think the last one we had 7, right? Yeah. And Rick's going with Stairway. Okay, so Stairway's gonna take this one. Sorry, Evan. Stairway takes it. For me, that'd be tough. That would be tough. And Jason Stairway. And Evan says, I can't be mad because Stairway's so iconic, but I am. Well, you can be mad if you want. That's fine. That's fine. This is just for fun. But get mad. Get mad. Okay. So Stairway takes it. Here we go. This is for all the marbles. Voodoo Child, slight return versus Stairway to Heaven. Voodoo Child, Jimi Hendrix versus Led Zeppelin, Jimmy Page. Stratocaster versus Les Paul. Wah-wah pedal versus, well, both Marshalls. Marshall versus Marshall, right? So who do we have? Let's see here. Jason is in first with Voodoo Child. So we got one for Hendrix. Evan's in next with Stairway. This is important stuff. John's in with Stairway. Stairway's taking the early lead. Richard brings it up to Voodoo Child. So we're 2 and 2. 2 and 2 right here. This is interesting. This is for all the marbles. Come on. So we've got, I think some people had to think about this one. Yeah. Jim's going, let's see here. Jim's going Stairway. Rick is going Voodoo Child. We're at 3 and 3. 3 and 3. Let's see, who haven't we seen? Chris, we haven't seen on this one. Jason, we've seen. Is Dean? We haven't seen Dean on this one yet. Chris is going to fall on the side of Hendrix. So Hendrix is up 4 to 3. 2, 3. Yep, Stairway. So we're at 4 to 3. And how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We had 8 last time. So I'm maybe Dean's in with Stairway. Oh no. Oh no, don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. Oh no, do I have to really pick? We went through all that. 2 weeks. And after we have 6 folks on YouTube and 2 on Facebook right now. And okay, I guess I'm going to have to pick it unless someone else pops in. We're 4 and 4. So Voodoo Child, Slightly Turned, Stairway to Heaven. It's a tie. Okay, we'll say it's a tie. Evan says it's the structure and Stairway that it takes from. That's exactly what I was just thinking. I was just thinking that Voodoo Child is a feel. That solo contributes to the feel of that song, right? But Stairway to Heaven is a constructed kind of thing. Yep. Let's see. Chris says it's a tie. So it's a tie for Voodoo Child, Stairway to Heaven. I like Voodoo Child better. But as far as the best guitar solos of all time, I don't know. I don't know that it is better than Stairway to Heaven. Personally, I wouldn't go and put on Stairway to Heaven to listen to. Maybe just because it, but I would put on Voodoo Child. Dean says they're both great. Yeah, they are. They're both great. They made it through all of this. All of that. Evan says you can't go wrong with either one. If you opened with this solo is amazing and you got to hear it. Yeah. Either one can follow. Yeah. Agreed. Stairway is totally played out. Yeah, it's played out for me. Definitely. And it's not a song that haven't played in a lot of different bar bands and cover bands that people ever asked for. You don't really get asked for that. It's not like a Freebird type song, But Voodoo Child is one you would get asked for all the time. So it's kind of played out. Definitely played out. But is it a better solo? It's a better constructed solo, definitely. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna leave this a tie. And I would like for all of you, and I'm going to do this as well, for next week. And next week, I think we're going to do some sort of a Kahoot thing, but we will really quickly at the beginning of next week. I want to think about this for a little bit. We've been through a lot to get to this point. I'm going to listen back to both of them, and I would ask for you all to listen back to both of those too. And I'm going to vote next week. I'm going to vote next week for this. I'm going to listen to them and really, really make sure that I have an answer. And we'll re-vote for this one. It's a tie, and we'll see what you think. Okay? All right. It is 12:21 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. We're at the end of summer here, about to go into fall, although it's not going to make much difference here. Oh, Richard came in with Evan says Jimmy and Jimmy sharing the crown. That's right. And Richard says prefer the SRV Voodoo Child. Thank Hulk Hogan for the popularity. Yeah, it's great. It's great. I love the breakdown. I think the way he did the breakdown, Steve Ray Vaughan did, is fantastic too. And maybe that's why Voodoo Child, when I would play out, would be requested more, because there was two instances of that song that were both popular, So Jason says, with you, Richard. Yeah. Evan, great to see y'all. Had a great time hanging out. We had a great time seeing you back, Evan, and hope everything is good for you, and hope everything worked out okay. And great to see you again, man. That's awesome. Okay, I'm gonna go get some lunch. I hope everybody has a great rest of their day. I will see Friday coaching students Friday afternoon, and everybody stay safe and have a good time, and good things to come. Bye, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me. That was fun.